Hello and welcome to this Minecraft on Linux tutorial. In this video I will go over the basic process in setting up a Minecraft server on a Linux machine. By the end of this video you will be able to create a Minecraft server and connect to it, as well as opening it up to the internet. However, you should only invite people that you trust. The first thing that you are going to need to do is to decide on which type of machine you are going to be using. Are you using a computer that has Linux installed already and you're just going to be hosting it locally? Do you have a spare PC that you're going to be using that you have installed Linux onto? Do you have a physical server somewhere? Did you buy a virtual private server on the cloud that you're going to use? I personally will be going with a virtual machine running Ubuntu in this example. That said, Linux is Linux, and at the end of the day, whichever type of machine you pick will mostly be the same. The main difference in distros of different Linux versions is the syntax used in the command line. If you are new to Linux, I would suggest going Ubuntu because of its ease of use and its large community. The second thing you're going to decide on is determining which type of server you want to run. There are many different kinds of Minecraft servers, and this is the backbone of the server. You will need to research which server is the best. Here's a list of a few of the servers that are out there now. We are going to be using PaperMC in this example, but there are many others like Spigot or Bucket, just to name a few. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to update our Linux. Now, you can click on Terminal right here if you have it on your sidebar. If you do not, then you can click on here and type in Terminal. So now that the terminal is open, you can right-click and add it to favorites if you want it on the bar on the left. But first thing we're going to do is we're going to update and upgrade the Linux server. Now, once you get done typing it out, you're going to push enter and it'll ask you for your password to log in. Type in your sudo password and push enter again. It'll ask you if you're sure you want to install these updates, and then you will push Y and enter. Now, if this is your first time updating Linux, this could take quite a long time, so because of that, I'm just going to skip to the end. Okay, now that those updates are completed, what we're going to do now is install Java 17 JRE. To do that, simply input the following command. Once it's typed out, push enter, push Y, and then enter again. Okay, and now that that's finished, now we're going to install screen. So we're going to install it by using this command with a tac Y at the end. The tac Y simply just makes it to where we don't have to type Y and then enter after we submit the command. Okay, now that that's done, what we're going to do is we're going to make a folder for the Minecraft server to go into. We're going to create it into the OPT directory within the Linux file system. We're going to type this command to make our folder called Minecraft, and then we're going to go into the folder by typing cd Minecraft, which is change directory. So now that we're in the Minecraft folder, we're going to actually go and download the PaperMC server itself. So we're going to use the Linux command wget to do that by typing in the address of the actual download. I will leave the link in the description so it's a little easier to see what I'm typing out right here. Once it's typed out, go ahead and push enter and let it do its thing. So now that we have everything required to actually get the server to run, we're going to actually run that jar file that we just downloaded for PaperMC. And right here, you'll notice I type out XMS2G, which is that means that the server will start at minimum with 2 gigs of RAM, and then XMX4G, which that'll be the maximum allowed RAM that the server will use. And so once we finally get everything typed out, we're going to go ahead and push enter, and the server will do its thing. However, the server will not finish at this point because you are required to accept the EULA. So in order to accept the EULA, what we're going to type out is sudo nano and then the destination folder file. Once we do that, we can scroll down to the bottom and erase false with true, and then push Control X, and then it'll ask you save, push Y, enter, yes. So just a quick note right here, we're going to be making a firewall rule to allow the internet to connect to our game by using this command right here. Alright, so now that the firewall is done, what we're going to do now is make a script, and we're going to cd into opt and make a directory called scripts. And now that that directory has been made, we're going to go ahead and cd into that directory we just made. Okay, and now that we're in the scripts folder, we're going to go ahead and make a script to run our Minecraft server just a little easier. Okay, so now we're going to want to actually make the script to run the Minecraft server a lot easier. So go ahead and just copy what I'm typing in here in your window. Alright, and once it's typed out, just verify that you've typed it in correctly, and push Control X, yes, enter. And so essentially what we did was just make a script that runs the server instead of having to type that long message out every time. But now we gotta give it permissions. So go ahead and type this out, which is basically just giving that script permissions to run on the server. So now all that's set up, we want to get our internal IP address so that we can test that the server's running. Right here is what your machine's local address will be. Okay, now that all that is done, we are going to tie it all together. So we're going to use the command screen and then point to that script, and then it'll start the server in a session of screen, which essentially makes us able to run the Minecraft server in the terminal, and we can get out of it without closing the server off. So put your password in, push enter, and now the server is actually starting up. And the server is fully started right now. So now we're going to go into how screen works essentially. So once you have it up like this and it's started in that instance, you can push Control plus A and then D, and you'll notice that it says that it is detached from the session. So now we can close the terminal, reopen it, and the Minecraft server is still running. We can type screen/ls to see all of the screen instances. You'll notice that ours says 1881. We can either type in screen R and then 1881 to bring that back up, and now we're back at the server. And also, if you only have one thing running in screens, you can just type in screen tac R and it'll bring it back up. Okay, so now that it's all well and good, let's reopen up terminal and let's test the server. So let's first see all of our sessions, and we do have a server up. So we're going to type in that 1750. But like I said before, you don't have to type that if that's the only session. You can just do tac R and it brings up that session. Okay, so let's just open terminal so that we can verify what our local IP address was. And now that we have that, let's go ahead and connect to the server for the first time. Alright, and now we have Minecraft pulled up, so let's go ahead and add the server, and for the server address, it's going to be that IP address for the local computer that you are using. And it might take a few seconds to find it, but there it is, so go ahead and double click on it to join it. And we're in. So we've successfully joined the Minecraft server that we just made. And as you can see, our player has joined the game in that server console. And now if I leave and disconnect from the server, you can see that I left the game. Alright, so now we're going to edit the server properties. So we're going to change the directory to the Minecraft directory we made and installed the server into. And then we'll see server properties. That's going to have a lot of the data that we're going to want to change for the server. So we're going to sudo nano into that server properties file right there. Enter our password and push enter. And now that we're in this folder, or this file rather, we can see all of these settings that we can change that will affect the server. We can change the message of the day. We can change the type of game mode that we're playing. We could even change the default port to a different port if we wanted to, and you knew how to. You can change the max players allowed online. And you can essentially just change whatever you want within the actual server itself in this file. So kind of just dig around in here and see if there's anything you want to change. If you do, go ahead and change it, and then you'll push the Control X, Y, Enter, and then you're back out of it. And now let's talk plugins. So if you want to install plugins, you're going to need to change the directory to the OPT Minecraft folder that we made, and then you install them into the plugins folder within that directory. So let's go into that folder. There's a default plugin that comes in called bstats. So if we just cd to the normal directory, we can go ahead and find a plugin. I just chose Core Protect as an example. There's many of them. You can use Spigot, or you can even use Bucket plugins. Either one of them will work, but once you click download, it'll install into the downloads folder. So we'll take a look, and there it is in the downloads folder. So we can move that into the plugins folder by typing this command in right here. And so basically I took the name, you type in move, which is MV, the name of the file, and then where you want to move it to. Enter the password, yes. I typed in ls, and it was clear because it had moved it. So if we go back into that plugins folder, we can now see that it's there. And once it's moved, that's all it needs to do. It just needs to be a jar file, and when the server starts up, it'll automatically load that into the game. And just to confirm, once we've moved the plugin into that folder, What we're going to do is we're going to need to restart the server. So we start it up, enter password, yes. So now the server is starting up. And while it's loading, you can actually see that the Core Protect loads right there. But there's also a command to have a list of all the plugins that are loaded. In order to get that list, all we do is simply type in plugins on the server command, and there you can see our Core Protect was installed, and now you know and you can verify if the plugin that you input into that folder does in fact load or not. Okay, so there's one issue that I found when messing with all of this is that whenever the server is running, you cannot, and you type in help on the console, you can't scroll up. So I'm going to show you how to fix that. So first let's start the server up. And see now, if we type in help, we get a big list of commands right here, but we can't scroll up or down. Now in order to actually scroll, you have to go into copy mode since it's in screen. What you're going to do is you're going to push Control A and then Control left bracket, which will put you into that copy mode. And once you're in that, you can use the arrow keys to go up and down. And then to get out of that, all you do is type in Control and right open bracket, and it'll cancel copy mode, and you'll be back into the terminal. Okay, and so now when it comes for you to play with your friends over the internet, you'll have to do some port forwarding on your router and or firewall. There are so many that I can't even cover all of them in this video, but you can go and look at the bottom of your modem or your router, depending on what you get from your ISP. Now, just Google what kind of device that is and how to port forward on that device. When port forwarding, you'll need to specify that you want all TCP port 25565 packets to be sent to the local address of the device that is hosting the Minecraft server. So here's an example of my router. This is an Edge router by Ubiquiti. So we're going to go into firewall, and then I have a bunch of different rules that you won't have. But this is just saying the WAN is coming in on Ethernet port 0 and the LAN is Ethernet port 1. But we scroll down, you can see I have 25565, and I said both protocols, TCP and UDP, but it only needs to be TCP. And then if you see the forward to address, that is where it's going to send those 25565 packets to, and that is where our local machine address is going to go. So the 210 is where the local address was on this example that we've set up. Now keep in mind, your IP address will be different, which is why we looked up how to see your local IP address, and that's what you'll put. And now, when you've done all of this, you can go to whatismyipaddress.com, all one word, to see your public IP address. That is the address that people will connect to the internet from. You will give them this address, and if you've port forwarded correctly, they will be able to connect to your server. If you have any other questions, do not hesitate to leave them in the comments, and I will try my best to answer them. Thank you for watching the video, and I hope you enjoy your new Minecraft server.